All right, let's get started. We're going to talk about building a real estate team. And as I said, I'm going to go right to the whiteboard. And this is a conversation that I've had often, and I get a lot of requests for this. So we're gonna do this again. When you get into real estate, you have a team of one. That's the team. It's you, Inc. You get to do everything that is involved in running a successful real estate business. You get to lead generate, go on appointments, take listings, work with buyers, write offers, negotiate contracts. You also get to enter everything into the MLS. You get to do all of the marketing. You get to do contract to close, and so on. Your job is everything that happens in a real estate transaction. Now, I would tell you from the very beginning, and this hasn't always been available, but it is now. I would hire a transaction coordinator. You can pay per closing on this, so it's not somebody who's a part of your payroll. It's not a fixed cost. You don't have a salary that you have to pay every month. You're paying a transaction coordinator. Now, the next question is, John, when am I ready to start building my team? And I would say that 2 to 3 sales per month on average, consistently over time, and you're ready to start building your team. Now, the first person you should hire is admin. Now, this person can do the job of the transaction coordinator, so you can eliminate that position if you choose. And now you just have an administrative assistant who does all of the 80%, so you can focus on the 20%. Now, if you hire the right person here, it's going to enable you to spend more time in your real estate business, and it's an investment, it's not a cost. Most people look at this as, okay, I'm going to hire an administrative assistant. I'm going to pay them $36,000 a year. And that's a $36,000 obligation that I have. There's risk. I could lose $36,000 if I hire the wrong person. In reality, not true, because you're going to hire them based on 90 days. After 90 days, you're going to evaluate the relationship and you're going to decide whether or not you're moving forward or not. So it's really a $9,000 investment, not a $36,000 investment. And when you've hired the right person for this role, they should plus 12 your business. So let's just say you were doing 24 sales a year, you should be at 36 now because you hired the right administrative assistant. And as your business grows, then you're going to build out this administrative stack. And let's just say you hire a full-time transaction coordinator who's now part of your team, and you hire a listing manager who's going to handle all of your listings. They're going to enter everything into the MLS. They're going to handle all of the advertising and all of the marketing. They're going to communicate with your sellers. They're going to schedule showings. They're going to get feedback. They're going to call the sellers. They're going to give them the feedback. And that enables you to focus on your 20%. Now you've built a foundation. And that foundation is going to give you an opportunity to grow the business larger. All right, there's another way of looking at this. So let's say this side of the model is sales, and this side of the model is administrative support. Now, you've got one person on your team, that's you. Once you've got 2 to 3 sales every single month, let's just go with 24 sales. Now it's time to hire your first hire. Where a lot of teams go wrong on this is they immediately think, okay, I'm doing well, I'm going to start building a team, and they hire a buyer's agent. And now we have you and a buyer's agent, 2 real estate agents who are working together. You're basically doing the same job, working side by side. It's not really a team. There's 3 reasons why people would want to be a part of your team. First of all, number 1 is you. They want to be in business with you, so they want to be a part of your team. It's your magnetism, it's your personality, it's your energy. They want to be around you. The second reason they would want to be a part of your team is for administrative support. That's that administrative assistant you've hired, your transaction coordinator, your listing manager. That is going to provide support for the sales side of your business, but you have to have that foundation before you can start building this out. Think of it like a restaurant. So sales is your dining room, and administrative assistants or your admin side of the business is the kitchen. And if you build the dining room without building the kitchen first, you're going to have a bunch of people in there wanting to eat and nobody's cooking food. So build the back of the house before you build the front of the house. So my first hire, the second person on my team, is my lead admin assistant. Now, if I've hired the right person, remember they're going to plus 12 my business. So now I'm at 36 homes sold. Once I'm there, I can start thinking about hiring the next hire. It's not a buyer's agent. If you hire a buyer's agent, then you and this buyer's agent are going to plus 12 the business again, at least. Now you're at 48 sales and this person gets to handle everything. Or even worse, you hire a rock star buyer's agent who plus 24s your business, and now you're at 50 sales. Yeah, 50 sales, sorry. And this person is buried. And the next thing you know, this person and this person, they start talking to one another. The conversation goes something like, this person doesn't know what he's doing. Let's go out and start our own team. It would be the same thing, go back to the restaurant analogy. It would be the same thing if the restaurant decided they wanted to increase their profits, so they were going to add more seats to the dining room, and they grow the dining room by 50%. They've increased the number of people they're serving by 50%, and yet they don't hire one more person to work in the kitchen. And now the kitchen staff is in the weeds in the middle of a Friday night. They walk out and you're left with a dining room full of people who are waiting for food and nobody to serve them. So the next hire is admin. This could be your transaction coordinator. It could be a listing manager. It could be a hybrid of the two. You could have your lead administrative assistant. You have a second administrative assistant who does all of your transaction coordinator work, contract to close, and they do your listing management. Now, again, if you made the right hire here, they should at least plus 12 your business again. Now, it's time to start thinking about that next hire. So your fourth person on your team is your first buyer's agent, because you built the support staff in order to be able to handle the additional business. Now, one of the things that's interesting, if you follow most successful teams, it'll take most real estate agents to go from here to here, anywhere from a period of 2 to 3 years on average. Now, you may be different, and that's awesome. But on average, it's going to take 2 to 3 years for you to be in a position where you're ready to hire your first administrative assistant. It'll take maybe another 6 to 8 months, possibly a year, for you to hire the next administrative assistant. So now we're at 3 years. Let's just say it's 3 years total to build these 3 positions. Here's what's cool about this. Once you've done this, you're going to hire the 4th person, the 5th person, and the 6th person, pretty much one right after the other. So now you've gone from a team of just you to a team of you and your lead administrative assistant to a team of you plus your lead administrative assistant, a second assistant, and buyer agent 1, buyer agent 2, buyer agent 3. Now what this ends up looking like is, let's start with the first model that we used. We have our administrative team in place, ready to go. This is you, and this is your administrative team. And now you're ready to start working on the sales side of your business. And Start by hiring a lead buyer agent, second buyer agent, third buyer agent. And if you want to grow the team larger, you can start hiring showing assistants. So that these agents, your buyer agents, are working with buyers, they're doing buyer consultations, they're finding out what the buyer wants, what their goals are, what their needs are, what their expectations are. And then they turn those buyers over to your showing assistants, who set those buyer agents up, those buyers up on searches. And the buyer says, I want to go look at these properties. The showing assistants schedule the appointment. They go out and show the properties until a buyer has identified a home that they want to write an offer on. And then they give that buyer back to the buyer agent. It enables your buyer agents to be able to work with more buyers. So the value you're providing to these buyer agents is you're providing them with leads, you're providing them with training, you're providing them with administrative support, you're providing them with showing assistance. And the average real estate agent who's working with buyers, who really knows what they're doing, is really good at the job, can handle 6, maybe 7 buyers at a time. That's it. 7 buyers tops who are going to buy a home in the next 30 days. 7 buyers who are ready, willing, and able to buy a home. However, when you add the showing assistant to the model, these guys can now work with anywhere from 9 to 10 buyers at a time. So you're enabling them to close more sales in a month. They're making less money per deal because the money that is paid to these guys is shared by your buyer agents. However, they're grossing more money per month. They're netting more money per month because their volume has increased, because you've given them the ability to do that by creating the wind beneath their wings, which is your administrative support team and your showing assistants. Now, you want to build the team even larger, then you're going to hire a listing agent. You're going to hire a listing agent over here on this side of the page. Or you take all of the listings. It's your choice. You can either stay in production and go on all of the listing appointments and take all of the listings, which will feed leads back to your buyer's agents, or you hire a listing agent and you give them the opportunity to go on appointments and take listings for your team. Now, if you're following the budget model, by the way, great book. If you haven't read it, read The Millionaire Real Estate Agent. Go right to page 152. That's the budget model. Go right to page 158. That's the organizational model. And 12% of your GCI is the target for that group. In other words, if you're making $1 million a year in gross income, you're spending $120,000 on your administrative team. Your buyer agents are on a 50-50 split or 60-40 split. It could be 70-30, it's up to you. This person over here, this is really where it's really going to make a difference in how profitable you are. My advice to you would be give them massive opportunity based on how much money they can earn, either pay them based on a salary or pay them on a 70-30 split. You get the 70, they get the 30. But they're making a lot of money because you've given them a lot of opportunities. Now, what do most real estate teams look like? If you look at most real estate teams and most organizations, you've got you, and then you have a group of agents who work as buyer agents, they work as listing agents, they're in sales. And it's you and a bunch of other real estate agents who are selling homes without any of the administrative support that's supporting these guys. And this really isn't a team, it's a glob. And the only thing everybody has in common is you are paying all of the expenses. Now, there's another way of doing this, and the next book that I would recommend is Platform Revolution. And if you've seen any of my Facebook posts, referencing Dietz and Dietz Realty Consultants. It's a consulting company. It's not a real estate team. And the whole idea behind that is you're providing the support, you're providing the training, you're providing the coaching, you're providing all of the things that real estate agents want in order to be a part of a team. However, you're not taking any money from those agents that are a part of your team, so they're not on a split with you. Also, it's their brand, their name, their phone number, their contact information. You're simply a consulting company who trains and coaches real estate agents on a platform. Read the book, it'll make more sense to you. But that's the goal of Dietz and Dietz Realty Consultants. And if you're building a team, if you're thinking of building a team, if you're doing a lot of work and you don't have a team, you don't have leverage, you find yourself saying things like, I'm burnt out, I can't handle any more business. I'm working 7 days a week, 10, 12 hours a day. Why would I want to do more business? Well, your challenge isn't doing more business. Your challenge is finding leverage. So you can do the same amount of business in less time and do a lot of homework on this, because building the right team has a lot to do with hiring the right people. Jim Collins, in his book, Good to Great, talks about getting the right people on the bus. Well, the goal isn't just to get the right people on the bus, it's to get the right people on the bus in the right seats. So we all have different gifts. We have our area where it's our superpower, but then in other areas, we're not the right person for that role. So you could hire the right person, put them in the wrong seat, and it's not going to work. So I would recommend you use DISC profiles. I'd look into ABAs for all of you who are with Keller Williams. They provide you a tool. It's called a KPA. Don't shortcut the process. Hire slow, fire fast, hire the right people, and life is going to get much, much, much easier for you. I'll close with this, and then I'll open it up for questions and comments from you. The real estate business is the only major industry in the United States who really hasn't caught on to this yet. Go to a doctor's office. Does the doctor greet you at the front desk? Does the doctor schedule the next appointment? Does the doctor come in and take your vitals? Does the doctor collect payment from you? Of course not. They have a staff that is there to support their business. Every business is the same way. Go to hire an attorney. It's the same thing. They have a support staff that is there to provide better service to the consumers. Real estate agents really haven't caught on to this yet. Here's the other thing. You either have a practice or you have a business. And there's a lot of real estate agents who think they own a business, and they're wrong. They don't own a business. They have a real estate practice. Now, the difference is when you have a practice, you have to show up in order to get paid. Most attorneys have a practice. You go in, you meet with them, you hire them, and they have to show up in order to get paid. Now, look into Morgan & Morgan, largest real estate firm, attorney firm in the United States. I think they have over 800 attorneys on staff. And I promise you, Mr. and Mrs. Morgan haven't met with a client in many, many years. They own a business. If I'm an attorney and I have to show up in order to make money, I don't own a business, I have a practice. There is a difference. All right. Talk to me.
Hey, John.
Yeah.
Hey, what would be, so when thinking about the components of a team, maybe someone who is new to real estate, not necessarily has a sphere of influence, what would be a good place for them to start within a team? Maybe like a buyer's agent, or like maybe something that's more salaried if they need some immediate income. Where would that place be?
Okay, so there definitely are options there. If you're looking to be a part of a team, you have administrative positions that are available to you depending on where you live. And depending on how large the team is, that lead administrative role is going to pay anywhere from $36,000 to $70,000 a year in most parts of the United States. Now, you get into some other areas, it's going to be more because the cost of living is higher. When Monica and I had the Dietz team, our lead administrative assistant made $70,000 a year. We were closing 10 to 12 homes every single month. It was a big job, so we paid her more. Buyer agents, it's all depending on the split you're going to get, Beth, and the opportunity that team is going to give you. Think of when you're deciding if you want to be a part of a team, here's what you're looking for: training and coaching, number one. Secondly, administrative support, that it's going to allow you to focus on your 20%. So you've got an administrative support staff that takes care of your 80% as a buyer's agent so that you can spend more time focused on finding buyers, finding sellers, and working with them. And then the third thing that they're going to provide to you is leads. And if those three things are in place and you've got opportunity, forget splits. If you got opportunity to earn the income you want to earn, then that might be a good position for you to start.
Got it. Thank you. And are listing agents or listing managers usually more experienced?
Listing managers, did you mean listing managers or listing agents? Because it's two.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know the difference.
Okay, so a listing manager is an admin role. It's an admin role who handles the list. A real estate agent goes out and gets a listing. They've got the paperwork, and in the old days, it was actually paper. Today, it's all electronic. And they turn that file over to the listing agent once they've taken that listing, and now the listing agent takes over. They enter the listing manager, sorry. They enter the listing into the MLS. They do all of the marketing. They set up the showings using Showing Time or whatever tool that you're using for real estate agents to schedule showings. They're calling real estate agents who are showing the property in order to get feedback. They're calling the homeowners and giving them that feedback. And they're doing weekly check-in calls just to communicate with those homeowners. So for you as a real estate agent, everything I just mentioned is what you have to do if you're a standalone real estate agent. However, if you have a listing manager, they're going to take care of all of that work for you. It's usually the second person you hire when you're building a team. It's not the first. The first is your lead administrative assistant. And by the way, the lead administrative assistant gets that job. Until you're ready to hire a listing manager, your lead administrative assistant is also your listing manager. They're also your transaction coordinator until you're ready to hire that person too. Cool. All right, I've got 9:01, which means I'm a minute late for Rainmaker Plus. I hope you guys got great value today. This will be on YouTube. Watch the video over and over again. If you're looking for a model in order to build a real estate team, this is a great video to watch. Share it with your friends and make it a great day. Remember, it's Friday, Saturday and Sunday is coming. Make sure you take time off, never truly off, never truly on. And I will see everybody Monday morning at 8:30. Make it a great day, guys.